we've come across the idea of what is a function, and that is y equals f of x. And one of the ways used to describe that is if we've got some x value, the function actually maps a particular set of points from x, this will be f of x. Okay, so that's what a function does. It takes in an input x and out comes f of x, where we define what f of x is. So the inverse of a function, which we write as f to the minus 1x, if we go and have a look at our diagram here, it is the function that takes that point there and maps it back to the original point. So if you like, it undoes what f does. So given the original function mapping from there to there, the inverse of this function will actually take that point and bring it back again. So for instance, if we've got f of x equals x plus 3, so given any value, you just add 3, and the opposite of adding 3 is minus 3, so f to the minus 1 of x will be just x minus 3. So we plug in 4 for x here, and we get 4 plus 3 is 7. Now if we put 7 in there, we expect to get back to the original point 4, which is in fact what we do. So the domain, some important properties. So if this is the domain, and this is the range, the domain of the inverse function, the domain will be the range of the original. And the range of f of the inverse is the domain of f. As you can see up there, here is my starting point for the inverse, and that's simply the range of f of x, and so on. So that's one property. Second property is that f and the original function and the inverse of a function undo each other. And another way to write that is that if we do composite functions, f to the minus 1 of f, and that will be equal to x. So if we were to write it with brackets, we'd have f to the minus 1 of f of x would be just equal to x. Incidentally, that's also equal to f going either way. So the third one is that all functions don't have an inverse. So just because we've got an original function, it doesn't mean to say we're going to have an inverse for it. There are some functions that don't have inverses, which is what I'll address in the next little session.